Backside KSBD Sports Extra. I'm Zach Fox. It's now time for our End Zone Team of the Week. And my goodness, we're already through week 4 of the Texas high school football season. Nobody's doing it better than the Estacado Matadors as they improve to 4-0 on the season so far after a demolition derby of a win 62-9 over Levelland on homecoming. Next, we'll speak with head coach of those Matadors and head coach William Blaylock. Ready, coach, as you heard, 4-0 for the first time since 2019. You get the big dominating homecoming win 62-9 over Levelland. It's going to be a lot of excitement around this group with a phenomenal start you guys have to start the season. Yeah,
you know, we're very proud of them. They worked hard. It's a senior-led team. And we know what we're capable of. We still don't think we played our best football yet, but you know it's always good to win homecoming and to win it like we won it. You know, give everybody a good party to go to, and you know we think we kind of threw a party at Lowry Field on Friday night.
Absolutely. And leading up to that game, you said that you guys needed to earn those decals on the helmets, but the Big E and then East Side on the side, and you guys really needing to improve in those first 3 weeks, and they had enough to be able to earn those and be able to have those for week 4, and then you start off the week 4 game with Levelland, and you start off with a safety, and you're like, oh man, do we take the decals off maybe? But then after that entire game, 62-9, I think it's safe to say they're back on for week 5.
Yeah, they just had to earn it. We think everything is earned, and it preaches accountability, and it makes that E important. And the East Side is where they're from, is where our kids stay at, and we take pride in it. The safety, you know, it was a bad play, you know, just missed blocking assignments, but we never thought the game was out of control. And we came out in the second half and scored 42 unanswered points, didn't give up any points. And the East Side is something that we take pride in. When you put it on the helmet, when you put it on the jerseys, and we came out and everybody saw how clean we look, well, now you got to go play to match that.
And Coach, and speaking just how explosive maybe this offense was on Friday and the entire year, we know just how explosive maybe like someone like Bobby Ross, and everybody kind of thinks about that from an opposing perspective and what he does for the opposing defenses. But for you guys on Friday, being able to have 9 of those touchdowns, 7 of those going to different guys, 7 different guys scoring with the ball in their hands. I guess how big is that from an offensive perspective, just to see how explosive and deep this team is?
I mean, I tell the guys all the time, you know, y'all are football players. You know, you can play everything. Everybody can play DB, can play receiver, can play running back, and vice versa. And we know we have a lot of weapons, and people hear about Bobby, and he's a great player, but then you also got to account for James Bozeman, you got to account for Cedric Ross, you got to account for DJ Johnson throwing and passing, you got to account for Devoye Boyd, you got to account for D Green. If you kick it to him or you throw it his way, he may take it back. Deuce can get in the end zone. You know, we have a lot of players that can go get in the end zone. So it makes teams have to play us honest, and we believe our kids can go one-on-one with anybody.
Coach, I know you're the type of coach who, you know, goes by the don't drink the Kool-Aid. I mean, you want to go week by week, and which we appreciate you guys being here for Team of the Week. But being able to have this team being as successful as they are, and number 9 in the state, that comes with a big target on your back. But I guess what have you done, or maybe some of these players stepping up in the locker room to say that, hey, we need to take this one game at a time?
I mean, like I said, we're senior-led. We have 24 seniors. They all played last year, and they understand, you know, that we didn't get the goals we wanted to last season, and so I think they play with a chip on their shoulder, and they want to leave their mark on Estacado with the great teams of the past, so that when they're done with this season, they can come back when they're, you know, 30, 40 years old and say, hey, we did a great thing in 2023, and they playing like it. They know it's one game at a time. We enjoyed Levelland. Now it's on the West Plains.
Coach, you got West Plains coming up next, 3-1 so far. Notable wins in Canyon and most recently in Palo Duro. I guess what do you expect on Thursday this week? It's a little bit shorter of a week, but you're able to host them on Thursday. I'm sure that's got to be a big plus as well. What do you kind of expect to see from the Matadors and the Wolves on Thursday?
I mean, you know, hats off to Coach Cummings. He runs a great program up there. We know they're going to be solid. They're going to be well coached. They're going to fly around, and we know we're going to get their best game. You know, we get them at home last year. We stomped our toe up there, and you know we haven't forgotten that. But we know this is a different year, a different team. So when they come to our house, we're going to defend Lowry Field the way we're supposed to. But we know we got work to do Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to get ready for them.
Absolutely. Then, Coach, I want to take off your coaching hat and put on your dad hat. How special was that? I mean, not many coaches have the opportunity to not only coach this team and have a great team, but also to be able to have the opportunity to coach your son as well and see him catch that touchdown pass there in the second quarter.
I mean, I always tell him he ain't as athletic as his daddy, but it's a blessing. You know, last year my older son came back for his senior season to play because I got this job, and getting to coach Deuce and then, you know, getting to coach Champ once he gets here from Dunbar, it's a blessing. You know, I've never coached my kids before because I I never wanted it to be any favoritism or anything, but he works his butt off. You know, he's goofy as I'll get out, but I love him. He's mine. He did a great job getting in the end zone. We still got some stuff we got to fix because we probably should have had 2 touchdowns. But I love the effort and the way these guys rallied around him. He don't get treated any different. He might take a little bit more flack than some other kids, but it is a blessing to be able to do that.
Absolutely. And then, Coach, finally, we know how big of a Baylor guy you are. I guess how special was that to see Baylor get their first win, but then also you're cheering on a former Coronado Mustang and Sawyer Robertson. You get to see him throw his first touchdown pass.
You know, once he put on green and gold, he's locked in. Happy for Coach Aranda, and I have some friends on that staff, and Eric Amoko and Sean Bell. They needed that. They needed a win. They had 2 rough games start off, and hopefully they can get it turned around and keep rolling.
Absolutely. All right, Coach, best luck on Thursday. Let's go and speak with some of those players. All righty, DJ, one of the many seniors on this team, but having a dominant effort to start off this season. I guess take me through this dominant 4 weeks and having this hot start as you not too far from district play.
Yes, sir. We've been dedicated. We got a whole bunch of seniors on the team, so everybody knows what their place is, and we got a whole bunch of weapons that we can use on the team, on defense and offense.
Speaking about those offensive weapons, as you heard that stat earlier, of those 9 touchdowns, 7 different players getting able to have their hands on the ball. How big is that for this offense to just see how big of a, an explosive talent this team has on this roster?
That's real big. I mean, it helps me a lot because I got trust in every player, and like everybody got a spot that they can do.
Nate, also another one of the main seniors on this team. Take me through an explosive start to this season, and now what's something that you think that you really want to take from these first 4 games, and maybe more dominantly in last Friday night into Thursday's game with West Plains?
I just want to take just staying up and just everybody keeping a good positive attitude and just keep on fighting every single play of the game.
Finally, as a senior's perspective, being able to have this hot start, first time since 2019 going 4-0, how fun is it from your perspective knowing that, hey, my senior year is getting off to a pretty good start?
Oh, yeah, it's fun, but we worked for it. Like, all during the summer, we've been putting in work for this, so, I mean, this was supposed to have been happening.
All right, Keyshawn, one of the main leaders on this team. What is some of the biggest changes and biggest things going really right for this team, taking it from just a year ago, a 7-5, great start for William Blaylock, and and his debut with head coach with these Matadors. But what do we think are some of the biggest changes so far from year 1 to year 2 with him?
I would say we just more disciplined. We just taking it one game at a time.
And what about that discipline and taking that maybe less penalties in that? I mean, we saw there was quite a few just in the first half alone, but really able to clean things up in the second half and really dominate in the second half of that. How big is that to be able to make those changes on the fly like that and play more clean football?
It's very big because we know those penalties could hurt us down in the run.
Finally, another big senior on this team, another captain, but let's talk about the defensive side of things. I mean, this team, we saw just how explosive that they were on Friday, but you give up 9 points in the first half and then just a goose egg the rest of the way. And really, you guys have done that the entire season so far. Talk about this defense really coming together and playing some clean football.
Just a lot of adversity. We got like a lot of depth on our charts on defense. Everybody ready to hit, everybody ready to go get a pick, take it back to the crib.
When you see this team right now and you see that, hey, we want to be a deep playoff team, we want to go to state, we want to hear that Christmas music, we want to be able to play at that time, how close do you think this team is to that realistic goal?
I feel like we're real close. Everybody's really determined to go to state, 16 games deep, we kind of go all the way.
And there are the Estacado Matadors, the end zone team of the week. They host West Plains on Thursday. More Case Beauty Sports Extra up next.